So my name is Lori. My surgeon is Dr. Veera. Every year I went for my mammo, and when I went for my mammo in October of 2018, the radiologist called me in the room and said, you know, it looks very different from the mammo before. When I walked out of the hospital that day, I said, I just have a funny feeling. So then when my GYN called me, I wasn't shocked, but yes, I was in the parking lot of where I worked at the time, getting ready to go back into work. I don't think it hit me at first until I then went upstairs to my supervisor and told her, and then, yeah, I was crying and went home, told my husband, and then, yeah, it kind of hit me, I think, that night more. They were young at the time. My daughter was 12 and my son was 17. Especially for them, I really never wanted them to see me sick or down, or so I worked through the whole chemo and took off for the surgery, but you know, for myself, but more for them, I mean, I'm a very positive person. I always, you know, try to push through any negative situation, because I always look at people which I then met, you know, having the chemo, and who were in definitely worse situations. I had gone to the surgeon, Dr. Deitch, and she had explained to me that it was called HER2 positive. HER2 positive, that gene produces more cancer genes when it's positive than negative, which, like I said, the mammo before there was nothing there at all. So within the year, it had grown 4 centimeters, which is pretty big from, you know, what they had explained to me. So it was like a stage 2.5. They did explain to me that the HER2 positive grows faster than the other cancers, but it is easier to treat. So because it was so big, they decided to do the chemo first to shrink it. So that was in October, so we started the chemo quickly, 2 weeks later. So the chemo went from November of 18 until February of 2019. It was 4 months. It was every 3 weeks I would go and have a treatment. For the last treatment of the chemo, the 6th one, it was already gone. It was already gone, which at that point I was like, oh, so am I done? But they said, no, you still, you know, have to take all precautions and have the surgery and then the radiation. So about a month or so later, then Dr. Deitch and Dr. Veera did the surgery, which was the end of March of 2019. Dr. Veera put the tissue expanders in at the first surgery, and then I went back to her a few weeks later, and she expanded the tissue expanders a little more. And then about 2 months later, in May, we started the radiation. And then we had to wait 6 months, and then she did the silicone implants. Dr. Veera was unbelievable. Very confident, very soothing to me, telling me how everything would come out, you know, gave me options. He always, you know, asked, do I want to do anything different? But I, you know, just trusted in her and Dr. Deitch what they felt was the best route to go for me. She did explain the other surgery where you can have your own tissue. 2 years ago, I was much thinner, and she was like, you know, we don't have much fat to take, so we're better off with the implants. But yeah, no, there was not a single problem or issue with her throughout the entire surgery, all the surgeries. I'll see her again in the fall, and it's just for checkups, and yeah, so everything, yeah, I've dwindled down to all the doctors to once or twice a year. You know, in the beginning, it's very difficult, and you're gonna have very difficult days, but you can look and feel back to yourself. There definitely is a light at the end of the tunnel, especially with Dr. Veera.